Pears are one of those fruits that can easily be served as part of a sweet or a savoury dish. Today we're going to make some delicious roast pear, caramelized walnut and blue cheese canapés, served on a pastry base. Hi, I'm Taryn. Welcome! Pears, blue cheese and walnuts. I can hardly think of a more perfect match. Today we're going to make an easy folded pastry base to serve our roast pear canapé on. We'll roast the pears, caramelize the nuts and talk about how you can serve these at home. Well, these pears aren't going to roast themselves, so let's get started. These are the things we need today. I've got a green Packham pear, but you could use brown ones or even the red variety would look great. Some olive oil, some golden syrup and brown sugar, or you could use maple syrup here too, or a combination of any of these three. Got some cream cheese, blue cheese, celery leaves to garnish. You could also use rocket or spinach or parsley, they'd work beautifully. Got some walnuts, and lastly our flaky puff pastry. First we can prepare the pastry. This is ready rolled pastry and it's very convenient if you don't have time to make your own. We need to cut some squares. We don't want them too big as it's only a base for our canapé. Then cut some right-angled slits on opposite corners, leaving the other two corners still intact. Fold one cut corner over to the other, like this. And then fold the opposite cut corner over, creating a gorgeous little diamond-shaped basket. Keep the inner right-angled edges square and push down gently to stick them to the bottom layer of pastry. Brush them with some melted butter. This will add to the flavour and help to brown the pastry. These are now ready for the oven. We can also prepare the pears and then bake the pastry and pears at the same time. Simply cut the pears into wedges. Depending on the size of your pears, you can cut them into quarters or into 6 or even 8. Cut out the core piece, then pop them into an oven tray. Add a splash of olive oil, a drizzle of syrup, and a sprinkle of brown sugar to caramelize them during the roasting process. Bake them in a hot oven for about 10 minutes before turning them over. Isn't it fascinating watching the pastry puff up as the fat between the layers melts in the hot oven? This is what creates the delicious flaky pastry layers. These are now ready to turn. Look how golden the bottoms are. Now we can add in the walnuts. And a little more syrup. And some more sugar. Bake for another 10 minutes or so until it's all golden. While the pastry and pears and nuts are in the oven, we can prepare the blue cheese spread. Simply soften some cream cheese with a fork. It is easier if you leave the cream cheese at room temperature for about half an hour. Then crumble in some blue cheese and mix it through. There are so many varieties of blue cheese, so choose your favourite for this. I've got a creamy Danish blue to use today. Here's our baked pastry cases. Don't they look so cute? I'll put them aside until we're ready to fill them. And here's our golden roasted pears and caramelized walnuts. I'll put them aside too. We're ready to fill and finish our canapés. You can spoon or pipe in some of the blue cheese mix. If you're not a blue cheese fan, you can use plain cream cheese or a hummus and top with a cheese you do enjoy, or even just use the nuts. Then arrange the pear on top. If you can, stand it up. This will give a nice bit of height. But sometimes these pears have a mind of their own and won't stand up. Then you have no choice but to lie them down. That's okay, you can create height with the other garnishes. Then put a caramelized walnut on top. Or if you only have pieces, add a few on top. Crumble a little more blue cheese over. Blue cheese looks great with the blue veins, so we want to show it off, not have it all hidden underneath. And lastly, some green garnish. I'm using a few celery leaves. People often cut these off and throw them away, but they're very much an edible part of a celery plant, just not in large quantities. I often cut a few up into salads for added colour and texture. I've kept all these little pastries identical. This adds to the overall presentation when you put these onto a plate. Today I'm going to put these onto a black plate for contrast, but I'm sure they'd look good on a white plate too. These sure look like an amazing addition to a finger food or canapé party. The black plate contrasts with the light coloured pear and pastry. The positioning of the pear creates some height, and the crunchy walnut adds some texture. That's all I've got for you today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to click the like button and make sure you've subscribed for some more great food presentation tips and ideas. Happy pear canapé making! If you like this video, I've got another one lined up for you up here and a playlist ready to go down here. See you next time!